16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Very nice. We tried so hard to lose and it just didn't work. I guess we win. Okay. Okay, welcome back to another pre-modern video. Today we've got a dono deck from Proud Suit 2017 from Reddit. So they wanted to see Cephalid Breakfast. They said they've been working on this deck for a long time. And as such, and since I don't play Cephalid Breakfast, I am certainly not going to change anything here. But I do know how the deck works. I spent a few minutes just kind of staring at it. So, the idea, like most Cephalid Breakfast decks, or all of them, is to get Illusionist and Nomads en-Kor in play, at which point you can flip your whole deck over into your graveyard. Now, unless you have a bunch of mana, you're mostly passing the turn when you do this, or you're just passing the turn with these in play. You're probably milling a certain amount. The tendency is to have like a shield sphere or two in play, maybe a task force, whatever, some sort of material where, okay, you probably want to Cabal Therapy them. But when it comes back to your turn, or if you just have additional mana, which is certainly possible, I'm sure that's going to happen some amount of the time, we can Krosan Reclamation. This is kind of the big card for this, where you can flash it back, right? We're assuming basically our whole deck is in our graveyard right now. We're either in our upkeep the following turn, or we're on the same turn, we just have extra mana, whatever. We're going to Krosan Reclamation our Songs of the Damned. It is up to, so you don't have to, although there are spots where you'd want to put 2 cards on top, but, or I would imagine, at least. But the heuristic as to how you combo is just putting Songs of the Damned on top. Again, if you're in your upkeep from having passed the turn, you can just draw it in your draw step. Or, another reason why it's difficult to go off in the same turn, but you could have resources to do it. Maybe you have a Hapless Researcher in play, at which point you can draw into it, whatever. You cast Songs of the Damned. You get a black for each creature card in your graveyard, and we get a whole bunch of them, so you get somewhere around, I don't know what, we have 22 creatures, you're going to have a few in play, you're probably going to get like 16, 17, 18 minutes, something like that. And you have Blood Celebrant in play, great. If you don't, that's fine. You can take Morgue Theft and put it into play. Now you can filter life total to colored mana, whatever color you want. In the event that you do not have enough life, you can Morgue Theft Morgue Toad back. It can come into play to make a blue and a red. Once you have your red, you can cast Recoup. This is a card that just gives a sorcery card in graveyard flashback till end of turn. And itself has flashback, so ultimately what you're looking to do is target Haunting Misery. It costs 3, and as an additional cost to cast the spell, you exile X creature cards from your graveyard. It deals X damage to target player or planeswalker. And we can use the full suite of Cabal Therapies to get all of our creatures into the graveyard. Usually the opponent isn't at 20 anyways, but we have 22 creatures. It would be trivial to kill them. Otherwise, the rest of the deck is just lands, fast mana, petals and spirit guides, worldly tutors to create redundancy. And Task Force is like the only thing that doesn't quite fit into the combo. However, you can target it infinitely with Nomads, and it's just got an infinite butt, which can block a whole lot of things. Between Shield Sphere and Task Force, these are cards that are going to slow the game down, muck up the board, and give you time to be able to combo. And post-board, it combos with Worthy Cause. So I would imagine, so Worthy Cause, as an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature, you gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. So you target it infinitely. Of course, on Moto, we won't have that luxury, but we'll target it a bunch, and then we can sack it to get a bunch of life. So playing against red, we can get infinite life. And then you have Test of Endurance so that you can actually win. And we have more task forces. They are just generally good against red. And I would imagine when we do bring, or at least what I'm going to do, is take out our combo. So I'll take out Cephalid and probably some of the other pieces for it and bring in Worthy Cause, Test of Endurance, some more task forces. And then what else do we have? A creature that can destroy an enchantment. So this can kill Solitary Confinement. Tormod's Crypt for a little graveyard interaction. Crippling Fatigue, so we can kill a creature. This Merrick Fiend is nice. Also a cute thing that likely wouldn't come up very often, but I will likely bring this card in against red, in addition to the other stuff, at which point this Merrick Fiend has 2 triggers. The ETB trigger, and then when it leaves, what you can do is you can play it, and then in response to the trigger, you can sack it with Worthy Cause, and the trigger to put the card back into their hand will resolve first, before having taken a card, and then you can just take the card. It's not all that efficient, of course, but the more relevant thing is they can't just, if they have one removal spell, they can't just bolt it in response. You do get to just take the removal spell. And I'm sure a non-zero amount of the time people aren't going to know how the card works, and they're going to bolt it with the trigger on the stack, or they're going to remove it with the trigger on the stack, and then you can take a different card, which is nice. I'd say Noble Benefactor is the only card I don't really know when we're going to be playing it. I mean, I'd probably play it against red, because it doesn't really matter what card they grab, and it can get the other piece to my combo. But I don't know. Yeah, that's the deck. It's pretty sweet. I'd say the only thing I don't really like is 4 Flooded Strand and only 2 fetchables. But there are a lot of colors going on here, so I could see it being a necessary evil, or you just want access to additional colors. City of Brass is a little bit sketchy. And of course, a lot of time Riftstone Portal is going to help, which is also kind of a sketchy card, but I get it. We have a ton of different ways to fix our mana. That's it. Let's get into it. I will see you in round 1. Okay, round 1 against umeboshi. Run the draw, as always. And as a Nomads, and some lands, Cabal Therapy, I'll keep. A little bit unfinished, but there's a ton of redundancy in this deck. Plains Wayfarer. Maybe this is supposed to be a mulligan, but we are learning. Let's, guess swords would be something I'd be worried about. I can do that later. I think we're chilling. I guess I could have played Shield Sphere, but I don't really want to give info. Maybe I should have played Delta. Yeah, I think maybe this was a mulligan because I don't have a white source either. Or a green source. A Worldly Tutor's not even good. In retrospect, this was definitely a mulligan. Alright. Can get a land with that once we put a second land into play. Found a Plains. That's actually nice. Still gonna play the Delta. And I'm gonna Cabal Therapy. I don't want to get Armageddon here. Meddling Mage and Swords. I'm not worried about Mage. I don't think they're gonna go naming anything of importance. And Swords, we can Flashback Cabal Therapy. You get a Port. Doesn't really matter. Port does not scare me. I'm gonna go for Meddling Mage. I'm gonna name like Dark Ritual or LED or something. Ill-gotten gains, sure. Now they're gonna start attacking and porting. I don't know if that really matters to me. Sure. Another Cabal Therapy isn't good. Yeah, I'll just pass. I don't care about taking a couple of hits. I suppose I can play Shield Sphere. I don't really want to, though. I'd rather use it to Cabal Therapy Swords in case they wind up with multiple. Wasteland is whatever. The thing about Flooded Strand is, like, Deltas also get Island. If you get an Island or just draw one, like, Flooded Strand currently only gets one thing, and if I fetch an Island, it gets none. Kinda wild. Alright. Pass the turn again. It's possible I shouldn't have played that, because if I draw Riftstone Portal, I'll want to go to discard. Give myself green. I think I stopped playing lands. At the same time, we are getting hit. I'm going to want to play Shield Sphere soon. It's a great example as to why this hand was not a keep. We might just wind up killing them, though. Now what? Dark Writ? LED? Cunning Wish? Dark Writ. Sure. All right, we'll take our draw. Port Swamp. I'm gonna fetch one of these. Get another swamp. Okay. That will get him next turn. Should have a win. Do we have enough mana to do it all on the spot? No, we have no way to draw a card. Could flashback Morgue Theft, but that's not enough mana. Call the herd. Okay, let's... Oh, that's awkward. Port and Wasteland are awkward. I guess I don't really need Island. I will fetch it. They're gonna port it. No, I do need Island. I'm an idiot. Alright, I think we have to take a draw step. Port our Island. Oh. That's a good draw step. Alright, so we got a Cabal Therapy Swords. We've got one Forest. A Shield Sphere. Block 2, 4, 5. Uh-oh, seems like I named the wrong ones, yeah. Yeah, you sure did. I don't think I have to play out Nomads, but I don't love going to one. I hope they don't draw exactly swords or something that can kill Nomads. With the one draw step. And they attack in. Going to block 1, block 3. Redirect the Shield Sphere. 1, 2, 3. I don't really want Shield Sphere to die. I'm not sure that matters either. Play another Elephant, sure. A Worldly Tutor. Illusionist. Get ported. Play Petal. Play Illusionist. Save targets. I don't know that we have enough resources for this. Krosan Reclamation. So we mill everything. I think I can do enough chumping. I think I can put Shield Sphere into play. And I think we can survive this way. As long as they don't draw removal. Block everything but Weathered Wayfarer. I don't need these creatures in play. Then on our upkeep, we'll wind up Krosan Reclamationing for Songs of the Damned. And then use Morgue Theft to flashback Morgue Toad. Or put it in our hand and play it. You get red mana to use Recoup to flashback Haunting Misery. I definitely screwed this up a number of ways. First off, by not mulliganing in the first place. But we might get there anyways. I would imagine they're looking through our graveyard. It's possible they drew another Meddling Mage. Also didn't necessarily have to flip all my cards right away. As long as I had a Shield Sphere I could pick up, we could have just passed. But I was kind of thinking of how I could even win while I was doing it, so keep things moving here. Alright, they're going to attack in. We're going to block, 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 block. Those get smaller. I even want to redirect. I think I'd rather just have Nomads in my graveyard at this point. Wastelanding themselves. They can use Weathered Wayfarer for another port. That's not going to do it. Alright, we go to our upkeep. We use Island and Plains because I'm going to want Swamp. Target ourselves. Songs of the Damned. I think we're going to have just enough here. They should port. Although it doesn't matter. Yep. Port, port. Cabal Therapy. I just want to get these creatures in my graveyard. Got Songs of the Damned. 21 mana. Flashback Morgue Theft. Could do Blood Celebrant. I do have 1 life, but just gonna go for the Toad. Cast the Toad. Sack the Toad. Recoup. Haunting Misery. Haunting Misery. Target them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Very nice. We tried so hard to lose and it just didn't work. I guess we win. Okay, what do I want against them? Mesmeric Fiend seems good. Task Force is okay. Crippling Fatigue kills Meddling Mage. What can we actually afford to trim? Flooded Strand is really bad. Can't really trim creatures. You can trim a Worldly Tutor. Can trim a Task Force. It's not even necessarily bad against them, but it's not great. And we have Mesmeric Fiend, so our creature count is, you know, similar. In fact, I probably want to cut both of those instead of Worldly Tutor. I think there's going to be an enchantment that I need to get rid of. Quite possibly. I'll play the Realist. Let's get real. From the Worldly Tutor again. Technically makes there less realists, but... Okay. Sand has one piece of the combo. With plenty of good mana. I think I still want to mulligan. One is very similar, but now we're on 6. We'll go to 5. Alright, we'll keep this. Put Theft down. Down one of the Cabal Therapies. Ox Diamond coming in. Adhikar, Wastes, and Sylvan, sure. Let's Cabal Therapy on the Meddling Mage. We hit. Ooh, this time they have Armageddon. They paid 8, as they probably should. Cycle a Tranquil Thicket. Plays a land. Double Sylvan. Love it. Hapless Researcher. Well, I'm going to play Fiend. Take this Armageddon. I guess I'm just going to Cabal Therapy it. It goes back to their hand. I need to actually get rid of it. Maybe I could have waited a turn. It's very unlikely to have enough mana to swords and cast it, unless they do some Mox Diamond shenanigans. Hang 4. Treetop Village. Another Cabal Therapy. Okay. Let's name swords. So I'll play this Hapless Researcher. We're gonna get Wastelanded. Maybe I'm not allowed to trim Worldly Tutor. Maybe I should be trimming, like, a piece of fast mana. Because none of our hands had, like, both parts of the combo, or one part, plus Worldly Tutor. Is really what you're looking for. Terravor, yep. We've gone down to 3. Recoup was a terrible draw. It has Trample, so might as well just use this thing now. Nomads was excellent. I will cast it. And we are looking for blue source, green source. Well, green wouldn't be the best. Need a blue source first. Please on a Mox Diamond. An Armageddon? No, just getting after it. Basically, need a blue source right now. We can crack back and put him to 2. Worldly Tutor is not it. I don't think anything will save us now. Alright. Let's bring the Worldly Tutor back in. From a Spirit Guide? Once again, only half of the combo, plenty of mana. This is kind of 2 parts of the combo. Now I need mana. I will keep it though. Play a Swamp. I'm gonna name Mox Diamond. Of course they have none. Now they're gonna draw one immediately. Treetop Village, that Meddling Mage is looking pretty sad. To be fair, I'm pretty sad. Given this circumstance. I think I need to play a Hapless Researcher and use it. I guess I could Cabal Therapy. Sylvan? Yeah. I don't think we can let them start doing that. We have 2 Meddling Mage. We desperately need mana. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna hit these mages. And we both have super clunky hands now. They can start hitting us with Treetop Village. They drew a Sylvan. That's bad for us. Come on, man. I know we boarded out exactly the card that we need, but come on. I feel like that's probably going to be the main issue with this deck, is coming up with green, blue, and white mana. I mean, you don't always need green, but usually because of Worldly Tutor you do. Alright, so teeny tiny Terravor. We'll do some blocking first. I mean, a rainbow land can eventually get it in. I think this deck needs City of Brass. There's too many basic swamps. And the whole Flooded Strand Island Plains thing is kind of weird. I know I cut 2 Flooded Strand. And now we're, well, stranded. But still. I mean, the main thing you're trying to do is put a blue and a white card in play. We have 5 swamps. And 4 fetches that, like, Polluted Delta can only get swamp, or the 1 island. They named Krosan Reclamation. Here they come. Block the treetop. Take 2. They wastelanded themselves so that they could deal a bunch more damage. That's cute. Oh. Okay, alright. Play an illusionist. What do they got? Coming in again. Block again. We're taking 8. We go to 5. Tormod's Crypt. Well, I can't beat that from this spot. The exact turn they needed it to. Dang. Well, GG's. I know I didn't play that match very well. But we also had some pretty bad openers. Although, it's just some clunkiness that I would imagine is at least reasonably common with this deck. The colors are tough. But let's see how it goes. See you in round 2. Okay, round 2 against SamuraiFunn. Once again, we have half of the combo. But this time we have solid mana. It's also possible, like I mulliganed some 1/2 of the combo plus solid mana hands. Maybe you're just not allowed to mulligan those hands. And there's enough redundancy that you just gotta trust in the deck. Alright, they lead on birds. We draw Cabal Therapy. I don't know enough about what's happening to Cabal Therapy here. Play out a Blood Celebrant. Maybe they'll do something that will... Oh, they'll just do nothing. That's strange. Well, I'm going to name Swords, because I can't imagine this card is not in their deck, and it's good against us. Whoa. Range Hermit, Mirari's Wake, Sapperling Symbiosis. We're going to have 4 mana next turn. We'll play Polluted Delta, and I'm going to attack. And I'm going to pass. They played a new card from hand. Thank you. Now we still have perfect information. Now we can just take the 2 remaining cards. I want to get Island before I draw it, because we only have 1. I'm going to fetch an Illusionist number 3. We're going to name Deranged Hermit. And we're going to flash it back. Actually, we're going to play Illusionist. And we're going to flash that back. And we're going to name Mirari's Wake. And then we're going to pass. And hope we draw the other half of the combo. Right, they drew an elf. They get in for 1. Play out their Cradle. We draw more mana. Pass. I wonder if you played less swamps, some amount of City of Brass, maybe you could go down on some of the acceleration and play cantrips instead. And play more islands. Just something to smooth things out a little bit. It's possible I'm just getting unlucky with draws, but I do think the mana is not ideal. And it's already difficult enough putting a 2-card combo together. I think some Sleight of Hands could go a long way. Jeez, man. Well, good news is we're going to have enough mana to pop off on the spot, or we should at least. Oh, I should be playing these out and using them as blockers. They're pretty good at, like, you know, just as Garfield intended the card. Card your hand, draw a card for each creature you control. Holy moly. What? It doesn't even sacrifice? They can do this every turn. We need to draw now, if we're not already dead. Alright, they made a lot of squirrels. We gotta hope they can't make haste. They're gonna draw their deck next turn. That's pretty cool. We need to draw the combo now. Right? Meow. Well, that's pretty wild. I could have been saving a lot of life points with the Illusionists, but it still wouldn't have stopped what they just did, so it didn't actually matter. Yeah, like we have borderline equal part green, white, blue, and black, and yet our mana base is pretty much just swamps. That's an unfair synopsis, but there's a lot of swamps. It's just kind of an inconsistency that I would imagine you can't afford when you're already trying to put together a tough to string together combo. I want Mesmeric Fiends. I do want Crippling Fatigue. Task Force is interesting, but I don't think I want it. I think I want Realist, just in case something happens that I'm not ready for. And I'll just play Mesmeric Fiend. Keep the creature count where it was. Alright, we have a Nomads. Yeah, Yeah, I guess I'll keep this. We have a Nomads and we have kind of a cantrip. And Hapless Researcher. Pass it over. They also kept on 7. Another Petal. Still get in for 1. And I will sack this. Field Sphere is not great. Not great at all. Alright, I'm just going to pass. They play a Plains and pass. Alright. I'm going to immediately fetch our Plains because we only have 1 fetchable left. Go get Plains. They just played a City of Brass. Rith's Charm. Create 3 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. Sure. The Plains, draw Gemstone Mine. That's not terrible. Play out this Mesmeric Fiend. Alright, what does Charm do? Destroy a non-basic. Create 3 things, prevent all damage. Ari's Wake. Hermit, Call the Herd, Decree of Justice. We have 3 lands, about to have a 4th. I don't know, Wake and Hermit are pretty scary. Call the Herd is the one card they can actually cast, although if I take it, they can still flash it back. They'll take Deranged Hermit. Play out the Plains and get in for... I should have played Shield Sphere, I suppose. So I can start mitigating damage. Draw another land. Play out Shield Sphere. May as well attack for 1. I will say, overall, I think we have too many lands, too. I'm totally forgetting about this card. We know about it. Classic brain fart. Although, honestly, this card and Mirari's Wake are both really bad for us. I think Wake is maybe even worse for us. Oh boy. That's a Cradle. Yep, now they play Mirari's Wake and Deranged Hermit. 15, they almost have lethal. I mean, if we draw Illusionist, though, we have the combo rolled up. Easily. We go to 7. Blood Celebrant. Triple block. We are very dead. Alright, see you in round 3. Hey everyone, thanks for making it this far. Just wanted to thank everybody, and if you're looking for more, show you where you can find that. If you go to the description below, you can find all of my links. If you go further down in the comments, you can also find my links, which will bring you to my Patreon, various tiers for Discord access, early access, sideboard guides, donation decks, coaching sessions. You can also check out the podcast within those links, as well as my Twitch, where I do most of my content. You can see the commands that you can use in the chat. Let's say you do dono. You're wondering how to get a link, how to do it. Tells you right here. And the members Discord is within the Storm, MTG Storm community. And of course, it's always going to help if you hit the like and subscribe. So thanks again. Keep storming, y'all. Okay, we're back round 3 against Dude Guy 2. On the draw, our hand has 1 part of the combo and Worldly Tutor, Rainbow Mana. The rest doesn't really matter. But it does mean there might be more duress coming. He took the recoup. Interesting. Alright. I'm gonna pass. Another reason why all these swamps is not great is you can't play Nomads and Illusionist. Ugh. We let it go, they name Worldly Tutor. We cast the Worldly Tutor, they name Nomads. I'm gonna cast it. I'm gonna get Illusionist. Yep, there goes the Nomads. I think Reanimate would be pretty good in this deck. I know obviously it's good in a spot like this, but cards like Careful Study, Reanimate, Sleight of Hand, I feel like those are probably better than using Spirit Guides and Worldly Tutor. Alright, we'll play Swamp. I have to pass, or I don't have to, but I don't know. Playing Illusionist seems real bad. At the same time, it's not very safe in our hand either, huh? Okay. Nothing. I like that. That's pretty good too. Alright, now we can put the combo together. We can fade 1 more turn. Yeah, they did actual nothing. Land number 4. Ashen Ghoul. It's a 3/1 haste. 1 black to return from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only during your upkeep. Only if there are 3 more creature cards above this card. Alright, so they're just playing like Rakdos Aggro. So I think we have this one pretty much rolled up. Especially since they tapped out. Cast another Tutor. Get Nomads. Play the Swamp, because why not? They have Snuff Out. Which one would I rather die? Play Nomads first. And Illusionist. I guess the problem here is I don't have green mana. And I have no way of filtering. I didn't actually think this through. Not enough total mana to flashback that black card. I think we're actually in big trouble. Unless they just somehow don't have anything to kill our dudes, then we can take a draw step. Right? I'm not missing anything. We need 5 to flashback Morgue Theft at least. Yeah, I screwed this up. Can mill a bunch of stuff. Oh no, I'm a dummy. I'm forgetting about the Riftstone portal. We're fine. Of course I'm missing something. I'm like, I gotta be missing something here. So we mill everything. Can't believe I almost just forgot that. And they're scooping. I guess they've experienced it before. Oh, they're off it. They don't want to play at all. Jeez. Alright. Well, we got one. See you in the next round. Alright, round 4 against Rookie. We're on the draw as always. This hand has mostly the same issue it always has. I mean, I'm going to keep it because we technically have both parts of the combo. We just need mana. Problem is we need the right color mana. And we are very likely to wind up drawing like, well, hopefully we don't draw swamps. Alright, we draw a task force. We played against a lot of duress between last video and this one. That's okay. This is a good draw. Double swamp. I think I'm casting Cabal Therapy and naming Hippie. Can't really afford to have that card hit the tip. Whoa. They're on Esper. They just have a double swamp draw. They rip a blue source immediately. Wow. You're gonna Sleight of Hand. I think I want to cast Portent first. I think we're a pretty low chance to combo off here, so not really like panicking to find a duress. Okay, a good draw. It's a very good draw. Now we have 3 colors. Still can't cast Worldly Tutor though. And Flooded Strand is now a completely dead card. But I guess I'll run out Task Force. And Shield Sphere. Am I hitting something here? I mean, every one of these cards is a problem. I could hit Portent and just hope that they don't hit a white source. Such a disaster if they do find a white source, but I think that's the play. By Portent. And they have Mana Leak. That's a problem. It's definitely a problem. I'm going to keep that in hand for now. There is a world where we wind up going to discard with this one. But also if we draw the blue creature, the one that loots, duress again. That's fine. That does not matter in the slightest bit. Oh. Okay, well, this will eventually help, and we can play it around Mana Leak. Or rather, this might eventually help. Make a green mana next turn. If I draw land, then I can play around Mana Leak completely. Just need them to keep missing on white sources. Okay. No. Let's see, let's attack. I'm gonna play this Hapless Researcher. In fact, well, it's tempting to just play Illusionist and try to get after it with 4 power in play. I'm not gonna. Can't Worldly Tutor yet. Like I could have, but then my Illusionist is playing into Mana Leak. Oh. Well, I'm gonna lose it, so might as well. Oh wow. They let it go. Yeah. We got a Nomad. We can play Nomad around Mana Leak, and then if the card underneath it is a land, or the card after that, because I can use Researcher, then we're good. I mean, if not, we also have 4 power in play. Get in for 3. Play to hand. That's scary. They found the white source. Discard my Illusionist. You got it. Now if we draw Illusionist, we win. That's a funny card. Alright, let's attack. We go to 8. Yeah, let's loot. Swamp. It's a bummer. I'm gonna play it out though. I mean, you could just hold the Haunting Misery. Maybe you get to kill them. I mean, It was a play. Just attack, and we keep chipping in and losing dudes, and then cast Haunting Misery. No Vindicate. I guess I can attack with both of these, right? Block Nomad, I can bounce it to this thing. If they block this thing, it's got an infinite butt. Yep, they block. 2 damage on that. But it's a 1/9. They take a point of damage. Should not have discarded Haunting Misery. That was a flagrant error. Psychotog? Well, that's pretty bad for us. Alright, that is enough for me. Play Fiend. Crippling Fatigue. This thing does block Tog. That's all it does. Need to actually win the game. Let's trim a Worldly Tutor. In fact, I'm going to trim 2. It's just so bad against all these counter spells. Like going down a card just for your thing to get denied, either be discarded, countered, or removed, is really bad. And is unplayable. And is not particularly good. Go to 5. Okay. It's not great, but I'll keep. We'll put Morgue Theft down. And I guess it's Nomads. And then we just have no part of the combo? Maybe it's Cabal Therapy then. We can lead on this Researcher. We can follow up the Mesmeric Fiend. And hope that we can somehow put an Illusionist into play and get white mana for this Nomads. Phyrexian Furnace, yeah, that's a problem. It's a pretty big problem. So are those. I'll take Psychotog. You could take Swords, but I'd rather just take Psychotog and then they have to use Swords. Makes them spend mana. Cast the Sleight. How do we deal with Crypt? You just have to juke into this plan? It's not just for red. Yeah. Furnace is a pretty big problem. I'm going to play a 2/2 and attack. I'm going to Swords the Fiend. No. Battling Mage. Naming Illusionist. Crippling Fatigue. That's a card. That is definitely a card. Getting in for 4. Yeah, they do get to hit it with Furnace. So that is a major issue that, like, I don't know. Graveyard Hate is just any deck can play it. Crypt costs 0. Furnace only costs 1. Doesn't cost any certain color. So to know, like, when you should come off the combo, there's just no way to know. We don't have a single card in the 75 that deals with an artifact. Alright. Another mage is in play. Let's attack with the Elf Spirit. I take 2. I guess I shouldn't have played Portal. Given that I did, I'm just going to play Nomads. Right, the Furnace. Fetch land. Finally Swords. Yep. Swords the Fiend. I don't see how we win this game. Engineered Plague. Alright, I've seen enough. We have no way to win this game. See you in the final round. Okay, so for this final round, what I'm going to do is I tried to remake things. Now, I am no expert on this archetype. I know there's a number of decks that are similar to this type of thing, like Full English Breakfast, and I have not gone out and looked at, various lists to see what this deck and adjacent decks are doing. Obviously, I was just given a Dono deck, and then this is my attempt to take that Dono deck and try to improve it in the space that it's operating. I think it's pretty clear, at least to me, that we need a more solid mana base, something that is blue base so that you can use a variety of cantrips to put the combo together. Another route that you could go is Intuition. You probably play some Reanimates. Initially, I had Careful Studies and some Reanimates, but you do need a certain density of creatures if you're looking to use Songs of the Damned and Haunting Misery to kill your opponent. I know there's other ways to kill your opponent, but I'm not privy to the exact ways in which those decks are constructed. So at least still keeping with the the idea to use the Songs of the Damned and the Haunting Misery and Recoup and Morgue Theft, all that. I mean, it is possible we run into some other type of issue that I didn't see, but we have a certain amount of creatures that we do need. And at least in gold fishing, it was more able to put the combo together more consistently. So for the final round, I'm going to try this, and then we'll chat a bit more. All right, here we go. We got our round 5 opponent, Tonitarka. We have a blue source and some cantrips, one part of the combo, so I will keep a little bit unfinished. We do need a white source. I mean, we could get a plains, but I think I want to be casting these cantrips. Turn 1 main deck Phyrexian Furnace. That's probably about as disastrous as it gets, right? Well, I guess Tormod's Crypt is a lot worse. Oh, well, we have naturally drawn the other part of the combo. That's good at least. I am just going to pass. Then we can opt on end step. A 2 blue up. I mean, I haven't played a ton of Premodern, but this is only the second time in my life I've had a turn 1 Furnace played on me. And in addition to that, just islands being held up. It's pretty brutal. I'm actually going to keep this Sleight, but it's pretty close. I know we have another one. Possible we miss on a land here. And it kind of stinks that we drew yet another one, but I'd love to find a rainbow mana source. That we did. Go ahead and cast Sleight of Hand. I mean, it looks like we're just playing Iggy Pop. I will take the Impulse, and we'll pass. Hit me with the Furnace. Missed the land drop. Hopefully we can find a land drop here. We did. Now we can Impulse on end step, try to find a discard spell. Okay. I might even just go to my turn. No, whatever. We'll put Gems of Mind to 1. Cast Impulse. Or Spike, huh? Let me take a quick peek at this combo here. I think I'm going to pay. I don't have a way to deal with this main deck. But it's going to get weird, or I don't know. Could get weird. Like, they can definitely screw it up with Furnace. I'm going to take Lotnom's Legacy. Feels a lot like a draw 2. It's a good draw. Go ahead and play that. Shield Sphere back. I think if we can, like, we can get Songs of the Damned in our hand, this might be easier. Entirely possible I should, like, play out some, well, I was going to say to pressure. Because if they're going to be at 20, Powder Keg. Okay. If they're going to be at 20, I currently have 21 creatures. And I'd certainly removed some Cabal Therapies, so might have to lean on Lotnom's Legacy here. Or Nomads back. Those are not great. Gemstone's not bad. I keep impulsing. I could play a Morgue Toad. Let's play a Morgue Toad. Just to confuse them a bit. I think we would have won this game easily if they didn't have this Furnace. Chain of Vapor. Okay. Fine with me. Why did you Chain of Vapor that? You got a 3/3 on board. Okay. Quicksand is cute. Other Nomads. Let's Impulse. That's certainly one way we can win. It's having Haunting Misery in our hand. Okay. I'll put that to hand. Fact or fiction? Stifle. They probably just take the pile with 3. I don't really want to give them factory with the pile of 3. And I don't really care about Stifle. Okay, so Stifle and 2 islands, or the 2 cards that matter, I guess. Stifle 2 islands, sure. So we're currently looking for like Cabal Therapy or Mesmeric Fiend so that we can check their hand and try to push through. Start getting in with this factory. So we go to 14. Powder Keg number 2. They're consistently holding up only 1 mana. I don't think we really have to worry about Counterspell, which is pretty nice. I think it's more so I just need enough mana. We've got a Powder Keg on 2 now, though. Let's play a Nomads, and a Morgue Toad, and a Shield Sphere. a pass. They don't put Keg up to 1. I think they will, but if they don't, and they draw a mana source, I don't know. I think we only have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 15 creatures in our deck right now is part of the problem, which might be why you need 4 Cabal Therapy, which messes with our creature count, so I'd have to kind of relook at things. But if we can manage to do some amount of chip damage at some point... Oh, they put Keg up to 3. We did draw the mana. I don't know why you'd put Keg up to 3 when you have a 3/3 blocker. Well, I'm going to play Illusionist. I mean, if they randomly have Counterspell now, after they've been only holding up 1 mana for 7 turns in a row, that's kind of annoying. I'm going to blow up the Powder Keg for 1, sure. That blows up the Furnace. Oh, okay. Interesting development. The Nomads. I'll blow up the Morgue Toad in response. Okay. Also an interesting play. Panic Factor Fiction. Counterspell against the world. You're going to take the counterspell, counter the Nomads, that's fine. And you took the 4 cards. It's also fine. Chain of Vapor. Okay, we mill some stuff. Chain of Vapor. Illusionist comes back. Keg trigger happens. Nomads enters. Illusionist enters. And now we pass. I guess I want to play the other Nomads. We're going to have C21 and get rid of 2 of these with Cabal Therapy. So we're only going to have 19. We do have a recoup. And I might, if I can get 1 point of chip damage in, I might be able to do this. Okay. Well, let's start milling. Always yield. Always yield. And save targets. Flip our deck over. Keep doing it. I mean, we might lose to a counter spell. This gets countered. But I don't think I want to mill my whole deck. Because I can Haunting Misery and then recoup it. You know what I mean? I have 7 cards, though. Thing tells me we're going to get stuffed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16 creatures. 2 with Cabal Therapy. I'm not going to go further. Well, is there Songs of the Damned? Oh, there isn't. I'd have to go further. Oh, I can just do this. Okay, let's... Damn, man. Well, I'm going to hope they don't have a counter. I suspect they do. And we probably lost. We could have... I guess I could have hoped to draw it. I don't know that I'm supposed to be doing this here. Because I could obviously have access to Cabal Therapy if I'm a bit more patient. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we could have just taken a draw step, then we have Cabal Therapy, and then we can wait. We can cast our thing. Like, it was kind of nice, actually, that we had Recoup in our hand in Haunting Misery. So it was actually a pretty big mistake. I'm just worried about, like, the freaking clock at this point. It takes me forever to figure this shit out with this deck. I don't play breakfast. So, Chain of Vapors and Bayance. And, yeah, sideboarding is so tough because you can't take creatures out. We kind of have to take out cantrips. And, like, an Impulse, an Opt. I'm just gonna run it. That was a winnable game, totally. Sand is pretty terrible. I'm gonna mulligan. This is a keep. Bottom the gemstone. Gonna go get an island. I guess I could just go straight for the combo. I would need 1 extra mana though. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe if I had a spirit guide. Okay, we got a researcher here. Island go. Tottenham's Legacy. Let's attack first. I'm just gonna slam an Illusionist. You got a force spike, that's fine. I got 2 of these. Sure. 1 lander, huh? Wow. I'm play Nomads and attack the F6. I'm just going to opt now. I don't necessarily want this in my hand. Cabal Therapy is not the worst. Kept a one-lander with no cantrips. 8k to the bin. Let's attack. And going to upkeep this Lotnum's Legacy. Get rid of the Morgue Toad. Found a land. They probably have an AK. Tap out for Powder Keg. Okay. Couple lands, not bad. Alright, let's attack first. Then we'll cast Cabal Therapy. I don't expect them. They're not. They don't look like a foil deck, but it's the only thing that matters here. That and Days. And I can always flash back to name Days. Oh, I guess I'm gonna be casting stuff on my upkeep. That's not actually true. Don't care about Stifle, but I do currently want to hit Counterspell in case they draw an island. So Counterspell was actually the correct name to begin with. They're not going to have foil, and this is going to be useful in my upkeep. If they draw an island, we should be fine here. Should be dead. Powder Keg up to 1. Alright, they're popping the Powder Keg, so time to start milling. I guess if they drew the Furnace, that would be a problem. So that also would have been a card to name in the first Cabal Therapy. Alright. I'm going to mill my whole deck. And Nomads is dead. Upkeep. I will flash this back. Targeting Songs of the Damned. And there's no play to make with Stifle or Chain. Or yeah, there is. Shit. They can target Illusionist. They need to take the Chain. They didn't. Wow. God, I'm so bad with this deck. Guess it's not going to matter, though. I guess no reason not to Cabal Therapy. I guess I'll take Stifle. It doesn't matter. Does not matter one bit. Let's Songs of the Damned. Morgue Theft. The Morgue Toad. Play the Toad. Attack the Toad. Recoup the Misery. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll do a few more. Good measure. Cool. Alright, despite making several errors, we got there. And let's see if we can run it back. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. Not bad at all. Island go. You gotta play quick. A lot of Powder Keg over there. Nomads. And we have Songs in our hand. Really good. The Illusionist. Usually you don't Illusionist pass, but we've got another one. Red Knot. Sure. Yep. Fine with me. Okay. Go. Gemstone Mine. Nomads. Save targets. Yeah, they have absolutely died. We flip our deck over, use Cabal Therapy to clear the way. Got the Songs of the Damned in our hand. Sweet. Okay, so here's the original list. First and foremost, I suck at this archetype. This is... I haven't even piloted it. Jeez, I can't. I've never even played Breakfast in Legacy. I played against it a lot, so obviously I'm pretty good at playing against it, at least in Legacy. Obviously this is a bit of a different beast, so I apologize for the numerous errors. But I do think there are some fundamental problems with this list, mostly with the mana base, but also just not having any way to smooth out your draws is really rough. It means you're going to be mulliganing a lot, and then still missing, and when you don't necessarily miss, you're going to be using Worldly Tutor, and now you've mulliganed, and you're going down a card from Worldly Tutor. It's going to be really tough to actually get through some games. And though I don't think this list is perfect, I think it's pretty obvious that the blue-based system is a lot smoother. But I hope this was helpful. I appreciate the dono. The deck, the archetype is sweet. Like I said, there's a lot of... If you're into this sort of thing, and you're not as familiar with the format, though I don't know the exact particulars, there are numerous decks that are adjacent to this. Very similar type of thing. Milling your deck through various means, and then winning through various means of combos. Who knows? Maybe someone will send me one of those at some point soon. That's about it. Again, thanks for the dono. If you want to see your deck played on the channel, look in the description. There are links to show you how to do that. And see y'all in the next one.